Hello everyone, Jackson here and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone had a good Christmas break and I wish you all a happy new year. Over the holidays I finally got around to watching Wednesday on Netflix and today we're here to discuss whether or not it was any good. As always, I will try to keep spoilers to a minimum, but this is your spoiler warning. But first, just briefly for anyone that doesn't know who Wednesday Addams is, or who the Addams family are as a whole. They are a fictional family created by cartoonist Charles Addams in 1938, and Wednesday is the daughter to Morticia and Gomez Addams. The Addams family have spanned multiple mediums throughout the decades and have widely been seen as a leading inspiration for the Gothic subculture and fashion. Netflix presents Wednesday, released on the 23rd of November 2022, and was directed by Tim Burton, and at the time of making this video, it's already become the second most watched English language Netflix show of all time. Wednesday is essentially a coming-of-age story set in the Gothic supernatural setting of Nevermore Academy, a boarding school for outcasts, monsters and freaks, in the town of Jericho, Vermont. There is a monster haunting the woods and the townsfolk and Wednesday quickly become embroiled in the murder mystery, trying to solve what is happening. But the question remains, is the show any good? Well, the good news is, yes, it is good, but of course that is my subjective answer, but more objectively, it is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and has an impressive 86% audience score. It is also currently at a 66% rating on Metacritic. For those of you that are new to my channel, I recently released a video of my top 5 shows of 2022, and if I had watched Wednesday prior to releasing that video, it would have easily made my top 5 shows of 2022. The story begins with Wednesday getting expelled from your typical high school and being sent to Nevermore Academy. At Nevermore Academy there are vampires, werewolves, sirens, gorgons to name but a few, and believe it or not, it's actually a moderately safe place for them to learn and grow up. Like mentioned before, Nevermore Academy is in the town of Jericho, a small town in Vermont full of normies, or in other words, average Joes just like me and you. The town was founded by the Pilgrims many moons back, and their founding father was a pilgrim called Joseph Crackstone. The town still pays homage to its history with a tourist attraction called Pilgrim World, bringing in buses full of paying tourists, and a statue of their founder, Joseph Crackstone, sits proudly in the middle of the town. As Wednesday arrives at Nevermore Academy, she soon learns about the murders in the woods surrounding the academy and the town, and quickly becomes embroiled in the murder mystery herself, trying to help the local sheriff find clues, solve the case and stop the monster. Now I know what you're thinking, but this isn't Scooby-Doo, but hey, it would be a fun crossover if they ever made it.
The thing we'd better do is split up and search the school for clues.
I won't dwell beyond this to limit spoilers, but there are essentially branching narratives at play, both in the school and in town, and the show does a good job overall at giving both the viewer and Wednesday herself red herrings as to who or what the monster is, and where the plot may be heading. I'm sure the majority of the audience, including myself, worked out the plot and who or what the monster is by the latter part of the season, but I must admit I had fun trying to work it out throughout, and I felt it had a satisfying ending as a whole. Nevermore Academy definitely had a Hogwarts vibe about it, both from the lessons and social activities the students engaged in. I will admit though that the story is fairly cliche and the whole coming of age, high school teenage angst isn't for everyone, but if you typically like that sort of thing then I think you would like this show as well. Jenna Ortega stars as Wednesday Addams and gives arguably the best performance of her career, and of anyone that has played this iconic character so far. Jenna even learned cello, archery, fencing and German in preparation to play Wednesday. In all honesty, she completely steals every scene she's in, even when she is with other established actors. I thought they did a fantastic job with casting the rest of the Addams family as well, with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Victor Dorobantu being the standouts in portraying Wednesday's mother Morticia, and everyone's favourite hand, Thing. I highly recommend watching the behind the scenes on how they brought Thing to life. I was sad that Cousin It didn't quite make a cameo in this season, but I guess there's always season 2 for him to show up. Gwendolyn Christie was as commanding as ever, playing the principal of Nevermore Academy, and Christina Ricci, who used to play Wednesday in the Addams Family films from the 90s, was great as their new normie teacher, Miss Thornhill. I enjoyed the performance from the majority of the supporting cast, but some of the younger actors definitely weren't as solid as their adult co-stars. Enid Sinclair, played by Emma Myers, was one hundo the standout student, playing Wednesday's roommate, and I loved the dynamic and complete contrast of her character to Wednesday. The setting and location for Wednesday was primarily shot in Romania, including Nevermore Academy and the town of Jericho. The videography, cinematography and overall production to bring the show alive is absolutely beautiful, and you can definitely tell Tim Burton is at the helm with his signature style ingrained throughout. On a quick side note, I actually visited Romania this year, and although I sadly didn't visit the castle used as a stand-in for Nevermore Academy, I have visited the surrounding area and castles, and I can confirm it's just as beautiful in person. I'm sure the day trips from Bucharest will now include the castle used in this show, and I may have to have a cheeky visit again in the future. My only real gripe with the overall production of the show is the CGI they used for the monster, as I thought it was below par and it removed some of my immersion whilst watching. Jenna Ortega steals the show as Wednesday Addams in the best portrayal of this iconic character yet. There's enough intrigue and red herrings to keep the viewer guessing throughout the season, and the supporting cast of characters is mostly solid. The show's humour and fairly cliche coming of age story won't be for everyone, but it's definitely worth your time and attention if you like the Addams Family, supernatural worlds or murder mystery plots. If I was to score Wednesday out of 10, then I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. And I would definitely recommend checking out Wednesday if you have Netflix. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the show and why. Do you agree with me or did you not like it? If you're new to my channel and enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. We're on a journey to 20 subs at present and it would mean the world to me. I hope to see you next time.